Kwa majina anaitwa Bilo Isa Guracha, ni wenyeji ya Gotu. Kama msaidizi inaleta sisi kuchapata chakula aina ya mchele, dengu, chumvi na mafuta. Asanteni sana. Napata kama kilo, hiyo ni kilo 25. Kilo 25 ya mchele na chumvi ya kilo, na ile nyingine kilo 5. Naonekana kama dengu ni kilo 5. Asanteni sana.
Maji ni muhimu zaidi. Na ikiwa watu watapata maji, wanaweza hata kulima. Hata nafikiri mahali tuko sahi tunaona kuna mtu amejaribu kuweka shamba pale kwa sababu amepata maji kidogo. Kwa hivyo lazima tuanze kuangalia ni kilimo, ni pengine biashara zingine ambazo watu wanaweza kufanya mbali na kuendelea kuweka mifugo. Kwa hivyo nafikiri kuna mashirika mengine pia tofauti ambao wanafanya kazi tofauti, lakini sisi kama shirika, mambo ya chakula, hiyo mambo ya food security, kusaidia wakulima. Kuna tuseme kama pale Lamu tumeweza kupeana mbegu. I think as we have said, the drought situation is still dire. I know there was a bit of rain in some parts in December, but that I would say has given some false hopes, and there are a lot of people who think that the drought is over. But the reality is that even where it rained, and in some of these parts it did not rain, but even where it rained, it was not adequate amount, but also it was not distributed well. So which means that there was very little relief, you can say, which, as you can already see, January, now we are into February, it is hot, it is dry, there's no more rain, which means even any little gain that could have been made is actually going to be lost. If the prediction then comes true, it means that most parts will still remain dry and will receive below average rainfall. We are waiting for the assessment report from the National Drought Management Agency in the next week or so, which will now give us the better picture of what has happened since the short rain season. So I think from where we stand, we want to actually say that we are still in a difficult situation, because you can imagine, even if it rains today, you don't get food immediately the next day. It takes some time. And remember also that even the ground is so dry already, even for the water facilities, the recharge has not been happening. So it is also something to remember that we may also even see some of the water facilities drying faster because there's no recharge going onto the ground. So some of the boreholes could also actually dry. So I think it's important to have this focus, but as a society also, what we are really encouraging is that in all these counties, especially the ones that have already been put in the level of alarm, we must start to be a little bit more focused, looking out for those that are most vulnerable, because sometimes we generalize the county, but there could be some pockets that are very, very affected, and usually those are also the ones that are not easy to reach. So a lot of people may not even get there, and those are the ones that will end up actually being in a very bad situation. So we think that kind of mop-up will be important, but also how do we sustain the support? Because you give food today, you go away tomorrow, there's no food, the food is finished, people will relapse. Mtoto mvulana hawachwi nje, lakini kusema tunashughulikia wasichana, nitakwambia ni kwa sababu ya kusema kuwa janga hili limeleta mambo mengine na hatuongei. Tunasema mambo ya chakula, lakini tunaweza kuambia kama shirika wasichana na wamama wameathirika. Wewe fikiria kutoka hapa mpaka mahali mama ataenda kupata maji.
So the 50 million is part of this initiative. This is part of the rollout, and that's why we are here as a team to just help with the actual donation. We thought it would be good to come on ground and just see what Red Cross is doing. And we will support it even in other areas. We have a long-term plan with Red Cross to just tell us where they are and what they need. As I said, our relationship goes back years, both in cash and kind. This time around we gave cash because of obviously the needs that that are on the ground. Now regarding the network issue, we've had that. What is happening right now, Airtel is in the middle of an expansion. I believe our network, there's a lot of big plans to expand our network to areas that have so far not been reached. So yes, definitely this is what we're going to take back, and of course our technical teams will look at it. We've also heard about the insecurity, and I'm sure the network would come in handy in such circumstances, so definitely something to look at as Airtel.
Ni kweli Red Cross inaangazia tuseme janga wakati linatokea, lakini pia nitasema ni kuwa pengine watu hawatuelewi sana. Na kama shirika ukiona hata bajeti yetu na plan yetu, ile response ni kidogo. Ile long term development actually ndio nyingi. Ni vile nitasema hata nyinyi wanahabari mnapenda kuonyesha disaster peke yake.
As a county assembly 2 weeks ago, we called for a special sitting to urge the governor to declare drought as a disaster in our county. Because if you look at the wards in Isiolo County, we have 10 wards. Out of those 10 wards, you can say only one has, some semblance of livelihood. The rest, 9 of them, we are in dire situation. The situation is alarming. 60% of our livestock are already gone. If you move around, you can see carcasses of cattle, you can see carcasses of camel on the roads. What we are fearing now, the next phase, is lives of people. Cherab, there are 7,872 households which are affected. Siricho, 7,001 households. Garbatula, 6798 households. Kina, 4,862 households. You see this Kina ward now, you can see the number is a bit lower because we got some small rain in November. The area which is better is only along the Tamak Road, but the interior of Ngaramara is worst hit also. Bulapesa, imagine, is in Isiolo town. 9,068 households are affected. Wabera, these people from Bulapesa, they mostly rely on the camel milk and cow milk which they get from this other side. Our governor directed all the resources, including the development ones, for this intervention. And right now we are not doing any development work in Isiolo County. All the resources that we've had, we've given the governor the authority as the county assembly to channel all the resources to mitigate on this drought issue.